Hello, good morning everyone. Good morning, good morning. Happy New Year. I hope everyone is well. 1st of January and our first live event this year. Nice and bright and early. I shall just make sure that we are live and everyone can see me fine. Close the door and no one interrupts us. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just making sure that we are visible, audible, and then everyone is seeing me and hearing me. Just bear with me just 1 second. Here we go. Okay. Hello, hi. Hi, Dewey Gat. Hello. Happy New Year. That's okay. Hi, Karen. Hello. Hello. Hi, Sandra. Hello, ladies. Right, okay, wonderful. All right, let's get started. For all those to come late, we'll have to catch up later. Hi. Hello. Okay, right, let's do this. I'm just going to move this away, make sure you can see me, you can hear me. I'm streaming through a very good cable, if that makes sense. Through a very good cable. Hello. Hi, Joe. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so, wow, lovely. We've got 13 of you here already. Thank you so much. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Margie. Hello, ladies. Lovely to have you with me. Okay, let's get started because we have loads to do today. And I am going to I will talk you through my creative process. Hello Helen. Hi Kerry. Hello. Hi Kirstine. Everyone's showing. Hello ladies. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a project that's been on my mind for a long time, hence I decided to do this, on the 1st of January at 11:30. Hopefully I give everyone a little bit of time to have a lion. I did have a lovely lion. Hi Sue. So I'm going to be doing this canvas. The size of this canvas is, hold on, I'm checking the other one. It is 10 by 8. It's 10 inches by 8 inches. Just a bit of a housekeeping. I have switched the autofocus off, so it's focused on this surface only. So if I'm going to bring something closer, and by the way, the reason why I have yellow hands is because I spilled the pigment and I can't get it out of my hands. So when I bring something closer, it's not going to focus that well. This is just to avoid this a bit annoying kind of in and out of focus when autofocusing. So the focus is on this surface, just to let you know. So if I bring something quite close to you, you won't be able to see it. Anyway, it's just a bit of a housekeeping. And yeah, we're going to be working on this canvas. I've got a lot of brass embellishments here. And another thing regarding internet, I keep my fingers crossed that now that we're doing through we are hardwired to internet, it will work fine. But if there are any problems with streaming, just bear with me. I'm going to stop and start again. Fingers crossed they won't. Okay, so cool. Let's get started. So yes, I'm going to be working on this canvas and I'm going to be using waxes. And the reason why I'm doing this with waxes, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing it with these waxes. So the reason why is because firstly, I wanted to do a project. I wanted to do this project I had in my mind for a really long time. It will be all black. And it will have a lot of highlighted accents. So it will be all black and the color will come from waxes. I had this idea in my head for a while. The other thing is these specific waxes we may or may not have on Craftbox website, but what we will have is the new Primo waxes, and I just wanted to kind of preempt and start giving people ideas of how to use those products. So I will be using these waxes, which in these colors, and we will see which ones I'm going to use exactly. I am going to be using stencil, one of my favorite stencils from Snip Arts. Yes, we will have them on the website. And then I will be also using golden black gesso. Yes, we may have golden products at some point. I'll be using golden molding paste. And tons of charms. Some of them are from January boxes. Some of them are from the Charms Day we are going to be doing. And then, hi Pam, hi Yvonne, hello. And some of them are Some of them are from October box, some of them are from January box. Not too many, and something you've seen already, so don't switch off if you still want a surprise. Some of them will be from the charm day that we will be doing sometime in January, and I will be using some lace as well. So all of it you either should have or you will be able to obtain, you know, nothing super extraordinary. Well, it's all extraordinary, hopefully. Okay, all right. Let's get started. We've got a lot to go through. I'm just going to roll up my sleeves. Oh, goodness me. I hope you can hear me and see me fine. Right. As always, hello. Hi, Tina. I'm going to start with texture. So I'm also going to build the layers up. I'm going to start with the texture. This is already pre-gessoed. I'm not gonna gesso. This is boring. So I'm going to use a stencil, and I'm going to use coarse molding paste, and I've got my heat gun here. And I will heat gun that paste. It will go a little more kind of spread out. It won't be as crisp as it would be if I air dried it. But, you know, I'll give it a go. And I'm also using the silicone brush from Prima. I just want to try it, really. Just want to give it a go and see how I like it and if I like it. Because I'm always after a tool that is slightly softer, especially for applying paste. So I hope you all had a lovely day yesterday. Did anyone see Robbie Williams cleaning his hands using the antibacterial gel when right after the New Year's fireworks? That was just so hilarious. Anyway, just wanted to put it in there because, you know, I'm sure that will make news, some kind of gossip news anyway. This is great. I love this. I shall get some of these for the store, I think. That silicone brush. I've got a bigger one, but I've got a massive pile of stuff that I've bought, and I haven't actually yet unpacked. So here we go. Okay, well that's okay-ish, I guess. This is all going to be covered with black gesso anyway, so I'm not particularly bothered if it is a perfect image or not. Just going to add a little bit more there. Whoops, moved it. And then it's not supposed to be like an, you know, oriental looking piece. It's genuinely just to add a little bit of texture. And I love this stencil, I'm a little bit in love with it, so why not? Okay, I should put it in the water straight away because that paste is a nightmare to take off. But you know what, I'm going to do that later. And then that silicone brush, this will come off of my brush. Hello, hi Fatima. Yeah, Joe, he was just so funny. Anyway, I've got my, oops. Hold on. I need to connect my heat gun. I thought I was 100% prepared. Clearly, there were some shortcomings. Right, okay, so just going to dry this. Gonna give it, you know, this the part of the process that is boring one. When we're sticking things on, it will be slightly more entertaining, hopefully. But this bit, I just need to get the texture paste dry. You know, I probably should have done it before, but just really wanted to show this process from the beginning till the end, so that everyone knows how to start something like this, and hopefully you like it. Okay, so just give it a good zap with the heat gun. That moulding paste from Golden dries very quickly, and as I said, it will spread out a little bit when it's heat gunned. Hi Sally, hello. But it's not too bad, and as we are going to be painting over it anyway, you know, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, this is already getting quite dry, so quite good for this kind of work when you know, when you need to get something dry fairly quickly. And if it smudges a little bit, oh, who cares? We're just going to stipple over it, and that's fine. Okay. Is literally watching the paint dry. Right, okay, so I'm going to leave it at that, and just for a moment, I will go back to it in a second because it will need a little bit more work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this lace. Now, this lace you may not be familiar with. It is you may or may not be familiar with. Okay, if you think, I've seen this lace somewhere, you are going to be right. Where you have seen this lace before I hope everyone still see me and hear me. My preview just went off and I can't see myself anymore. So just give me a shout that you can still see me and hear me. Yeah, so that this lace is actually a black version of the lace we had in the box by Box for the Craft channel that we did, limited edition box for the Craft channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little non-clog little silicone cap bottle, and then I'm going to pop the glue, and I've got glossy accents here all the way here. I'm not going to be precious about this, you know, I'm not going to be super don't know, precious is the word, but I just want to stick this on, and I need to stick this on fairly well because I am going to be gessoing over this. I could have actually stuck it afterwards, but I want the gesso to kind of take the you know, to be able to add wax to it, so it's better if I gesso over it very well. Okay, fine here. Thank you so much. Thank you for the feedback. Do give me a shout. My preview just froze, but I can see from the YouTube that the stream is fine. So just adding a little bit of glossy accents to those bottom bits, and I'll cut the rest off a little bit later. Lovely. Hi Giselle, thank you. Okay, now just going to add a little bit more heat. Just need to get that doily here nice and dry. This is actually doing really well. Definitely recommend this paste. Golden products are something I really want to have on the website because they are great, and they're really, you know, they're fairly heat stable. As you can see, that hasn't lost too much definition. And just gonna dry this and dry this. That one is still a bit wet, so we're just gonna give it a little bit more. Okay. My heat tool is kind of failing me a little bit, which is a bit weird because it's brand new, but I think it might have something to do with I've dropped it quite badly. So yeah. Right, I'm quite excited to be doing this in our creative journey in 2017. Would you believe it's just started and we're already streaming, and I'm very excited about this. I hope you're not too worried about whoever is still working. Not too worried about going back to work. I'm not sure what I'm gonna see at work when I finally go back on Wednesday, or whenever Wednesday I think is the first day, isn't it? Oh, crazy. It will be very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take some gesso and I'm going to gesso all over it. I may just do a little bit of drying in between. The gesso I'm going to be using again is the golden one. Hi Caroline. Hello. Oh, this needs a good mix, shake or stir. Hold on. This was just really watery. Oh, I think we're better now. I should have some kind of stirring stick. Whoa. Okay, there's some kind of like a thing on top. Okay, got a brush and just going to gesso all over this. And this gesso is quite liquidy. The reason why I picked this particular gesso is because it is quite liquidy. So even if my texture paste is not 100% dry yet, the viscosity of the gesso is not going to make me drag the paste throughout my piece. So that's, you know, if that's a good tip. If you do, you know, work with lots of wet mediums and you need to do it fairly quickly, just pick a gesso, and you want to paint over it either with paint or gesso, to make sure that your gesso is, or paint, is quite liquidy. So then it, you know, it gives you a little more time and gives you a little more kind of assurance that you're not going to be dragging that texture all over and ruining your design. Being gentle is key, really. And this gesso dries so quickly anyway. Love it. Alright, just going to dip a little bit more. And just, you need to cover it quite quickly. Not quite quickly, you need to cover it quite well. Is anyone feeling a bit of a cold coming? I feel not like outside, but is anyone having just a little bit of a cold? I just have that feeling that I'm gonna have a cold. I woke up with blocked nose today and I'm thinking, oh no, I've been off for a month. And then now I'm just suddenly having a cold. How not okay it is. Anyway, it's fine. Okay, I'm just being quite careful here. I just don't want to ruin this design. Oh, I love that lace, how it looks with this black gesso. I am going to gesso the sides afterwards, so don't worry, I'm not going to forget the sides. Eventually they will be done. Hi Kim. Hello. Okay. Hope you can. This is getting like a proper white cast now. Hold on, I might just change a little bit of a white settings because this is just a little too bright. Oh, here we go. Save. Okay, that's probably a little bit easy on the eye because I need to. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm using studio lights. I'm using studio lights now. The reason why I'm using studio lights is because it's so dark outside. There's no chance in the world I could actually get a little bit, you know, I could get enough light for you guys to see it. It would be very, very, very dark. So, right, I want to get in between that lace. So I'm just going to add this gesso here as well. Just make sure it is all lovely and done. Okay, do we need a little bit darker? I think we do. It's getting bright outside, so I think that's the reason why we're having light issues. Anyway, here we go. Nearly done with this. I'm going to zap it with a heat gun just in a moment. This is like live crafting, isn't it? Everything is live. There's no escaping from the fact that you have to paint and you have to dry everything. So, okay, get that nearly there. Lovely. Just going to add a little bit more here, add a little bit more here, and we're done. Perfect. All black, loads of texture, sorted. Close my gesso. Okay. Right, I'm just going to give it a zap with the heat gun. This has already started to dry, so I just want to make sure it's nice and dry. Get the excess of gesso spread out if we have any. Oh, this is nice. And you can see it dry. Look at that. Crazy. Hi, BJ. Hello. All right. Need it nice and dry. And then we're going to start playing with our charms. Oh, love this. Love this already. So I am using the heat tool, craft tool rather, by Ranger rather than a heat tool. Just because I wanted a bit slightly wider spread of hot air, which as Tim Holtz says, and you know I need to mention Tim Holtz, as Tim Holtz says, it is really good for crafting. So not for, you know, not so good for embossing, but definitely good for crafting. So, you know, keep that in mind. And as I said, mine is failing a little bit, but hey. Hello to everyone who joined us and who's watching. Hello, hello. Welcome. You are watching paint drying at the moment, in case you were wondering what the heck is happening. It is paint drying, but not going to be, you know, it's not going to be long because it is nearly dry already. It is bubbling up a little bit, but that's fine. Just adding a little bit of texture. Okay. Good. Here we go. Right. Okay, that's that. So I'm going to now adhere bunch of charms, and I do have a heat gun. And you know my adventures. That was my heat tool that fell again. You may know my adventures with the heat gun. Hold on. And it's still working. You may know my adventures with the heat gun. I have burned myself quite badly. So I'm not a biggest fan. However, I am going to be using this Bosch tool. So I'm going to switch this on. And I'm just going to push the glue stick in. And again, just to let you know, if you're wondering why my hands are so yellow, I have stained them with the pigment. Just to remind you, so no one thinks that you know, I've don't know, stuffed my face with curry, which is fine. I love curry anyway. Right, okay, I've got a bunch of embellishments, stunning embellishments, by the way. If you are after any of these, then stay tuned. Either they will be in boxes on Craftbox website, you know, they will feature somewhere. I also have our, what are they called? Dream catchers. Oh, BJ, do let us know where you found that tool, because I need another one, because this one is already failing. Right, dream catchers. These dream catchers are from the October box. Hold on. They are from the October box. I have tons of replays. Replays are all the leftover stock that we had from the boxes. We had tons of replays because we had some more arriving after we posted the boxes. Some more different embellishments. So yeah, so they will be on the website. I just touched the heat gun and I burned myself already. This is just precious. Anyhow, where were we? Okay. Warm welcome to all the new watchers. I hope you're enjoying Anna's creative disasters. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to be creating a scene here. I'm going to be making a scene. And I'm thinking of something like that. And yes, if you are wondering, this will be gessoed as well. My heat gun is just really going for it. This will be gessoed. So my plan was for these two keys to be fairly high up. I should have taken a picture when I arranged it in my pre-trial. This one is going to go there. I'm going to have those angel wings. Hold on, we need that a little higher up. We got angel wings. We've got a butterfly, and this will go on the side here. Don't worry, there's all different colors. Honestly, it does not matter. It will all be gessoed. And then I wanted this cog here, and then I wanted a tiny one here. Tiny cog there. Okay. And then Dreamcatcher will probably, as soon as I unglue it, it will go there. And then a little fan will go somewhere, maybe here actually. And no, you stay there. Maybe another dream catcher, because it's all gonna be waxed anyway. So we're going to have a lovely effect. And I'm thinking I'd also want to add some of those because they are so pretty. Okay, right, that will probably be added there. Okay, now I am going to attempt to hot glue gun something. Keep your fingers crossed for me, please. I shall probably feed that with the glue. Oh, here we go. This is rather hot, so fingers crossed that I won't actually hurt myself this time round. That would be such a desirable outcome if I didn't. Okay, and then pop that down here. And then here, just in case you are wondering what I'm actually doing, I'm trying to not to hurt myself by using a heat gun, and I just have. Okay, because I need this dry really quickly. That's why I'm not going with my wet glue. You may know that I love my wet glue, so that's what I do. Okay, here we go. That's that. Now Lizzie Curtis has given me an amazing tip, and she said, us actually on one of the hi Jackie, on one of the streams, that if you are bothered by the little cobwebs left by the hot glue gun, don't, because you can always take a heat tool and then just heat tool your piece, and then the cobwebs will disappear because they will just melt, because they're very, very tiny strings of glue. And I thought it was a genius little advice. I mean, Lizzie has obviously been crafting for a very long time, so she knows what she's doing, and she's full of little tips and tricks. Okay, I am trying to still very hard not to burn myself, and I'm doing quite well so far. She said, and now probably I'm going to end up with a blister. Nah. Okay, just adding all those elements to my canvas. Here we go. And then getting this lovely filigree there as well. I hope this will catch. Okay, you need to be careful because that's quite thin and the glue is obviously hot. Okay, here we go. And then my butterfly. I'm going to add quite a lot of glue to the butterfly. Here we go. All right, so oh, I forgot about you. I'm actually going to stick this little fella here. Okay, lovely. And this is now dry. And the glue will add a little bit of texture as well. So that's my layer number 1. I am going to give it a quick zap to make sure that all that paint is dry. Probably don't have to, but that's fine. Probably don't have to. Now, I will take my black gesso. Okay, and then I will gesso those pieces, and they're just going to be so quick to gesso because they're all stuck on now, apart from the little butterfly that's kind of moving around. That's fine. He will be dry in no time. I'm going to grab the wings and gesso them, and then take this lovely hinge. Yes, it will be all gessoed, I'm afraid so. And then the key. Oh, love that. That reminds me of the rubbish canvas. Do you remember the rubbish canvas? We had a rubbish canvas challenge as well. Here we go. And then the dream catchers. The dream catcher itself is adhered, but the rest not necessarily. The little feathers sticking through. Okay. Here we go. Now this will obviously need to be dry. You're wondering, what the heck is this woman doing? Okay, just gonna give it a zap with the heat gun. Just need this all dry. And I'm going to be adding some other brass embellishments on top, which may or may not be gessoed because I want some of that brass colour as well. And that's fine. And I'm going to be adding a sentiment as well. I'm surprised, and I presume you decorate the metal first before sticking into canvas. No, I tend to like to do this because I think it's quicker as well. And I don't have to decorate the back side either, because then that what may happen is that the glue is stuck to the gesso, and I need the whole embellishment to actually be adhered to the canvas rather than, you know, gesso to be adhered to the canvas, if that makes sense. Right, okay, so I've got some other brass bits and pieces, and I'm going to use them, and I'm going to add them to my piece here, and I'm not going to gesso them, so I just actually want that colour. So it's all about building layers, what I'm doing here now. I love that. And this key's lovely. Oh yeah, I love dream catchers as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put some of those lovely embellishments around and then adhere them. Oh, I love this mixture of brass and black. Isn't it lovely? And if you are wondering when the what's the name, wax is coming, it is coming, I promise. We just need to get this scene set up first. Okay, so I'm going to grab you and pop you on here, possibly wherever you fit in my little scheme of things. That makes sense. Okay, and I've got this steampunk little thing that will really need to be properly waxed and changed in colour, because obviously it's silver, so it doesn't really go with anything else. Okay, so I'm going to add these. Again, I will attempt to use my glue gun and not hurt myself too much. Come on, switch on. Okay, here we go. So get some glue gun, get some glue on those points where, okay, where this will stick. All right, so my key is now stuck on. Then embellishments, stuck on. Little cog, loads of cobwebs, it's fine. They will go. We will trust Lizzie's advice. This one here, and then you. I'm trying not to touch the glue, that's what I'm doing. If you are wondering, why is this woman actually not attaching this to the, not adding glue to the embellishments? Just don't want to hurt myself too much again. That's my prerogative this year. Try not to hurt myself. Oh, where to start? Does anyone know if Anna will be on a craft channel again? No, Anna won't be on a craft channel, unfortunately. The craft channel decided not to pay me, so I won't be on a craft channel. However, I am going to be on Hochanda, so I am excited about that. We'll be on Hochanda on the 22nd of February with the craft box, and then on the 10th of January with Snip Art, Polaris Stones, and Prima. So that's where I'm going to be. And I really hope I will see you there. I'm quite excited about that. Okay. I've got some other little charms and bits and pieces. So I think I'm going to add them because I just want that balance of brass and black. Even though I am going to be adding lots of wax to it. Okay. Here we go. That's that. Now let's take advice from Lizzie and do that. Wow, that works really great. So if you didn't hear me before, Lizzie said that if you have any kind of cobwebs from the glue gun, then you should just, you know, run your heat tool over it and it will disappear. And they did indeed disappear. Exciting. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a second before I move on to, this is my background. So this is the kind of the layer I'm going to be using. What I want to do now is, I've got sentiments. Now these are super old, so I know it's a bit unfair to show them to you, but they are from Making Memories. I don't even know if Making Memories exists anymore, but oh, I do have those, and I don't know if you know, but years back, literally years back, TK Maxx got hold of some tons of stock of craft products, and they were selling them out in bundles for peanuts. And I've spent a fortune. I still have all that because there's no way in the world a person could actually use that much product. So this is from one of those, and these are sentiments, and these are actually like what is it called, a dictionary things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of white cardstock, and then I'm going to take my embossing powder. Look at my hands. Going to take my embossing powder because I want to stay with this kind of gold brass elements. And what I'm going to do is, I do believe this is just a sticker rather than rub-on. I'm fairly sure it's just a sticker. So before I go ahead, before I actually adhere this, I'm going to cut a piece of this paper, and it will be big enough to keep that believe. I just want that believe here. So I'm just going to mark it with a pen. This is crafting by Anna Herson. This is quick crafting, you know. Things like doing YouTube streams, etc. really taught me that you just need to be efficient. And there's no time for measuring things. So, that's that. I am just going to cut that. I would try to be as straight as humanly possible. Let me just get that here. You know, I may or may not be. It's not the end of the world if I won't be. I'm going to make it longer than it should be. And then cut my sentiment to size. So the sentiment looks like this. And perfect. That was such a perfect sizing, Anna. Okay, that's great. That's really good. Okay. So what I'm going to do okay, I'm just reading your comments about my situation with the craft channel and stuff. Yeah, it's all in the past. I'm trying to move on, and you know, one of those things. Right, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Versamark, and I'm also going to take a blending tool on which I have tiny bit of Vintage Photo. Vintage Photo is a distress ink by Tim Holtz or by Ranger, whatever. And I'm just going to very, very gently stain this. I just want to take that white, you know, starkling white off, but not, you know, not really covered it in brown. Just a little bit. That's enough. I just don't want this to be in your face Snow White, because that's not the look we're going after. Okay. I am going to now edge the edges. Take the edges and dip them in my Versamark, just like that. You know, I'm doing it messily, and yeah, doing it messily just like that. And now I'm going to add some embossing powder. The embossing powder is from Ranger, and it is called Embossing Powder Gold, and it's lovely. Okay, tap that. Alright. Actually, I'm thinking this might probably adhere to my, oh, we will see. It doesn't matter if it will. It might adhere to my distress paint, because it might do. Oh, and it did. So I'm just going to be creative and just take the middle and just really wrap that. I like that. I was after something really messy with this. So just gonna brush that off, because I want a little frame, but like a really, really messy frame. Just gonna add a little bit more there to the bottom. Fine. Now we'll take my heat tool. I should really take a heat gun, but I don't have it connected. Right. Pop that one. Take it to the side. I don't want to melt it in my jar. And then just give that a zap with my heat tool, which is actually quite warm from the previous heating situations. Oh, that will just give me such a beautiful border. Really excited by that. Lovely. Oh, lovely. How beautiful. I will show you that just a little bit closer, as close as I can with this zoom. I just feel like this is not fully melted yet. Okay, perfect. Melted all the way. Whew, warm. Okay, so this is my little sentiment frame I've created. I think this will work well. And then I will take the sentiment from Making Memories and just cut it. Hold on, just cut it here. I want that believe. I want to believe. And this is all on one kind of sticker sheet. So just taking that off. Now there is a little trick to this, and I'll tell you what the trick is in a second. As soon as I take that off, I'm taking the little release paper off. Oh gosh, this was not easy. Taking the little release paper off, and I'm going to stick this onto my frame. Oh, love this. Now these stickers are actually matte, which is great. And I will cut the excess off, and they see through. That's why I wanted to get that gold underneath. I hope that makes sense. Oh, it's rather warm in this room. I think with the studio lights actually is fairly warm. It's fine. Okay, so I've got my sentiment. That bit is done. All right. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to bring my piece down here, and now I'm going to do the waxing. So, I've got those 5 waxes. I am going to try to do this. I've done it with my fingers before, and that worked quite well. So I might have to do it with that. But I also want to try to take a soft brush and see if that will work. So I'm going to start with brown, I think, and I'm just going to add that brown colour, the brown blacky colour, to this. This is blue. That's amazing. Okay, we need to find a little bit of a kind of browny colour. All right, this is definitely brassy brown, and that will work beautifully. Okay, so I'm just covering this. So you saw this was silver. It is now completely different colour. It's a kind of browny and bluey. I think I want to go for a palette of blue and green. I'm really into my blues and greens at the moment. But before that happens, just gonna wipe my brush. This paste dries so quickly anyway. So I'm now going to start highlighting all those embellishments, all those points where naturally a sand would hit it. And if I have missed, as you can see, I've missed some bits and pieces, doesn't matter. Either I'll add some paste over it, or I will just gesso it again. Oh, isn't that stunning? Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So Karen just asked what company is copying Craftbox. Loads of companies are copying Craftbox, Karen. It's not news, but some of them are doing it in a really in a really interesting way, where they just pretty much take the entire concept, and it's fine. I mean, you know, if someone wants to try it, give it a go. But the bit that frustrates me, it doesn't really frustrate me, but the bit that I find a bit, how do I say it? I don't really care. Hi, Melissa. Don't really care about it. But what I'm trying to say is just at least if you're starting a business, have your own ideas. Just have your own ideas. All I'm saying. I'm taking the green wax as well, just in case you are interested in the colours. Hold on, because I mixed them up now. That one is called olive bronze. Oh no, that's not olive bronze. That's olive bronze. That's sapphire. And this one is called emerald. So I'm taking emerald. Get that in the zoom. And oh, look at that gorgeousness. Isn't that absolutely stunning? It's just such a different effect. I can't wait for Prima to come up with theirs and see if they're any comparable at all. Okay, I need waxes, said Lizzie. Yep, Lizzie, hold on. We are going to have the Prima ones, and let's see if they're any good. But they are just absolutely stunning. Okay, I'm just going to take that brown now. And I'm going to add, oh, I want to say brown, but it's actually not brown, it's blue. And going to add a little bit more of the brown, and then I will highlight on top of that. So I will use wax on top of wax, and then with a little bit more wax. Okay. I think we could add a little bit of purple. I need to change the brushes. I can see that they cross-contaminate themselves itself. I'm using now the Royal Amethyst. Okay. And here we go. So amethyst will go on you. Oh, it's like mica powder almost, except it's very permanent. Waxes are gonna be massive this year, I reckon. Look, I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but this is absolutely stunning. And the sheen and shimmer is gorgeous from this. So this is now the key part of this whole thing I'm doing here. But I'm going to carry on, and then I'll kind of show you in the light as much as I can, and I'll highlight bits and pieces. Oh, they blend so beautifully as well. So I'm just taking a little bit of purple and adding it onto some of those raised areas of the keys. Oh, by the way, hi Lizzie. I didn't see you before. Okay, lovely. This element has been, I love this element, and I really want to really highlight it. So I think I'm going to take blue. I'm going to take blue, and I'm going to then mix it with some other colors. But yeah, going to take blue, and this is mixed with a little bit of green on my brush. But I'm going to add blue to the actual base plate, and then the other raised areas I will add some other colors too. I could do with gold. I've got some other waxes downstairs. I could go with like a proper gold, but that's fine. Oh, I do have gilding wax from Pebeo as well, so I may try to use that. Alright. It smells lush too. It does. So I've got this brass colour. Oh, this will be gorgeous. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so I think I'm just going to add this brass on top of the this hinge here. I think this is delightful. Love it. What a massive difference from this initial mess. And I'm going to create a little bit of a halo around those areas, because I want the wax just to go into other areas. I just don't want this to be a black canvas with a lot of stuff stuck on it, and then highlight it, because that's really not. I want this to be a part of the whole setup of this canvas. So I'm going to carry on, and I'm just going to highlight the bits first. You will see what I'm doing in just a second. The one thing I really love about this, and you guys know as craft boxes, you know very well, something I tend to say a lot: if you get an embellishment and it's not to your liking, then sorry, looking malicious. If you get an embellishment it's not to your liking, especially if it's metal embellished, if it's any embellishment, then you can always use mediums to colour it. And this is what I'm trying to also prove through using the waxes, Royal Amethyst. I'm just going to close this. I don't want them to dry out. Through using those waxes, I want to show you that you don't have to worry about something not being the colour you want, or, look, what a massive difference. This is brass. I will try to show you a bit closer. This is brass, and I'm just adding a little bit of that blue, literally tiniest bit. And even those bits of glue look great on it. Love it. Just adding that, completely different colour. I wanted more blue. Okay, let's just load more on my brush and do that. I wasn't very careful, so I got some around it. But look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Thanks, Tina. Thank you. Lush is my most used word. Okay, right. So just going to carry on. We need a little bit of green, because green kind of is lost in here. So I'm going to add green to this, and then before this green dries here, I'm going to spread this as much as I can, except I need a different brush. I've got everything set up. Okay, here. So this is just dry brush, and I'm just going to get the rest of that wax. That wax dries very quickly, and it will be, once it's dry, it's dry. So you do need to be quite, quick. If you do get wax where you don't want it to be, but you are after this kind of halo effect, then by all means you should just take a dry brush and then spread that wax. Oh, look at that green. Spread that wax whilst it's still wet, because it will be permanent and it will be dry. Remember that. Okay, so I am now going to take a little bit of this wax that I have on the brush and just spread it here, and then I will take that dry brush and then really, I want to create a little halo effect around all those embellishments. Can you see what I'm after? Oh, you can adapt it to however you wish and however you like. Okay, I think this little bit here needs a little bit of gold, maybe. Blue and green and gold. Blend. They blend beautifully, by the way, as well. So here you have a little bit of blue here on that embellishment. You've got a little bit of blue here, and then you've got gold on the rest. Blended. Gorgeous. Okay, let's do our halo. What's happening in January? Glue stand's going to be like art cobwebs. What's happening in January? I don't know if the discussion is about that, but in January I'm going to be on Hochanda on the 10th of January, showing you snip art, pre-bar and Polaris stones. Just to let you know. Okay, I'm going to go with this brown, and I'm going to use this brown on my fan, which is lovely. And again, just this little halo effect there. Dry brush, spread this whilst it's still wet. Make sure that you do that whilst it's still wet. Add a little bit more, spread it. Halo, a little halo around my embellishments. Now I want this this key to be highlighted more, so I could, oh, gorgeousness. So I'm just going to use this one. Okay, and then add that gold here and there, not too much. I don't want that to go everywhere, but wherever I've added a little too much, I'm just gonna make a little halo, because that's what I'm after anyway. Now I could do with a silver, but I actually don't have silver here, so what I'm going to do, by the way, these waxes, especially the treasure gold ones, coming off your hands beautifully. So don't worry if you're going to Anna's on Hochanda on 10th of January. Yes, don't worry if you're going to get it everywhere on your hands. They will come off, I promise. Right, okay, I'm going after this wing now, and I'm going to add a little bit of that blue wax around it, and that was with the wet brush, and I'm going to take a dry brush that I'm just keep using. Oh, this is just not, oh, hold on, I had a little bit of a wet gesso there, so no, I'm running out of small brushes. Here we go. I'm just going to take this brush, which is not strong enough. This does need to be a little stronger one. That's fine. And then just going to spread that a little bit, just like a little halo. And if you feel it's still wet, just give it a bit of a zap with a heat gun. That just needs a little bit of drying, I think. Okay, right, gonna go back with my blue, because I really want this to be okay. Halo effect, that's what we're after. Halo effect. Just adding a little bit around. Oh, stunning. Really beautiful. I love this. I hope you guys enjoying this. I'm just in love with this technique, and I can see so many uses for it. And I'm just going to extend that little end of the feathers, and I'm just going to make sure that it's all lovely and blended. Isn't that beautiful? It's like the angel wings are, you know, shining. Okay, now I want a little bit of brown And I wanted to highlight this, and now I just think it just needs a little other colours. Make sure you wash your brushes after that. It does dry, and it will probably is permanent on your brushes. I haven't used it that much yet, so make sure you look after your brushes in a grand scheme of things. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit more of that blue, and now I'm going to go that way because I want this to be a little highlighted as well. And I'm just going to add the highlight to my lace. Isn't that beautiful? What a difference that makes. Just give me a moment, and I'm going to just add it to the lace, and I will show you a little closer so that you can see how this actually is looking. And I'll add the blue wax and then add a little halo to this embellishment here, and very gently just going to add a little bit around. I just had this flashback, I don't know why, but I just had this flashback of my mum and I going to a craft show together February last year, I think. And it was really funny. I don't know, it just hit me, that memory. I don't know why, but I loved every minute. My mum is very creative. She's not into crafting, she's into painting. She bought some stuff, she's into beading a little bit as well. But it's just, I remember we were on our way back from London because the show was in London. We were on our way back from London, and I was and I just kept getting craft box orders, and she was so cheering me every time the orders arrived, and she was so proud. Gosh, I'm tearing up. I don't know what just hit me. My God. Okay, here we go. So I've added a little bit of that blue around there. Now I'm going to add, someone just said don't forget the butterfly. Good job. I am going to add some purple to the butterfly, and I'm going to add it on I've got quite a dirty brush, so that will just make sure that the colours are a little bit more blended. And then we will do a little halo around the butterfly as well. Isn't he gorgeous? This little butterfly. Stunning little fella. Love that pet. Oh, I'm just so in love with this. If you didn't get any waxes yet, you totally need to get waxes. And if you want to wait a few days, when we're going to get the Prima ones, they have some lovely, lovely effect ones. We will have them on the website as well, so they will be quite exciting. Okay, just making sure that I will highlight the lace around as well. Probably going to take a slightly different colour. Gorgeousness. Okay, now I think we are missing some bits and pieces. I'm missing something here, so we'll just probably add this, possibly with a hot glue. Please keep your fingers crossed. That will not hurt myself. Just going to add that in a second. And then I will just carry on. I want the little bit of kind of, I keep saying halo, but you know, like a highlight on that side. So I'm just going to add some wax. And then dry my brush, just wipe my brush and spread it as much as I can. And I just want it to go in the point like light would, you know, like light would go. Just get fainter and fainter. So I'm not sure if you can see it that well on the camera, but I've got some I've got a little bit of wax going here as well. It's just like this light is going in this direction. Beautiful. Okay. And then I will probably do a little bit more here. Seems like I'm gravitating towards the blue. I do like the blue quite a lot actually. So I'm just gonna wipe that. And again, I want this to end in a point. This has like a gold undertone, this wax. It's actually in a pot. You can probably even see on the edges it's got gold, and it's got gold inside as well. This is beautiful. Really, really lovely. Olive bronze. Where is olive bronze? I think I've mixed I've mixed the cups now, the covers. That's fine. Okay, lovely. My heat gun should be hot now. I'm going to add that element. Where did I want it? Here. No, it's either out of battery or out of glue. That's fine. I will manage to stick that one on. And then obviously we need to change the color. And I'm going to add a little bit of gold. And the gold is going to be a Pebeo one. Pebeo waxes are really good as well. Lovely. I've got some cobwebs flying around. I can get that little halo around. Lovely. There's one more left here. What colour should we do it? Give me some clues. Give me some clues. Give me some clues. What do you think? Should we go for gold? I feel like we got loads of different colours around. I think we're just going to go for gold, and this is way too much, so I'm just going to wipe it on my little apron. Okay, and obviously I made a big fat mess there, so I'm going to take a brush and then spread this as well as I can. So I'm just going to be quite forceful here. If that bothered me big time, I could always gesso around it, but I really don't want to. I just want this to be, just want to add highlight. I shouldn't have added more wax, but that's fine. It's all going to be very waxy now. That will be fixed later. Okay. That's probably a little too much comparing to what I would like it there, but you know, it's fine. It's creative mistakes. We can sort it out a bit later. I can dull it down with a little bit of black gesso, and what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to add my sentiment. So this is a sentiment we created a bit earlier. I really don't want to add it over my wings, but I think I'm just going to add it here. Oh yeah. Okay, so I want to say I will use my glue gun. Poor little hands. So I'm just going to add a little bit here and then see where it's going to stick there. So add it a little bit here, and that's that. Perfect. That worked really well. Okay. Here is my finished piece. I hope you liked it. I'm going to take some pictures and then show you on various groups. I may just carry on embellishing and adding some little bits and pieces, but I think this would do for a really, really nice background. If you want to add some other elements on top, obviously it would just require a little more time. But I just wanted to show you the amazing things you can do with the waxes, and they are drying really quickly as well, so they're just perfect medium. There will be a big thing this year. I want to say next year, but there will be a big thing this year, and I really hope that you know, you like this little demo and that gave you a little bit of inspiration. As always, I'm sending you lots of hugs. Happy New Year, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you. Bye.